flight to Congo took about 20 hours of actual flying time, but it was also a 100-degree rise in temperature by the time we got to the Ubangi. Gives you plenty of opportunity to relax and to read along the way. Since 2004 when we'd been there, Kinshasa changed a little bit. Interesting place. We went on Hewa Bora Airlines from there up to Gemena. Hewa Bora was out, had travel alerts from the American Embassy, but we managed. We were met there in Gemena with the new Women Ministries truck, which turned Ruth into something of a rock star, being welcomed everywhere, maybe walking slightly off the ground wherever she went. Here's how she was welcomed in many places. From there we went to Businga, where the conference was being held, also in the brand new truck with some air conditioning. The roads were much improved over what we experienced 5 years ago, though you wouldn't believe it just by looking at it. Straight in the front. I took my turn sitting in the back, but finally begged my way back into the air-conditioned cabin. We met a number of trucks along the way carrying produce to the market. Businga is the center church near the big river, and this is where that was held. They built a hangar where about 1,600 people were able to sit on logs. A little bit uncomfortable, but I think they thought that it was a worthwhile time to be there. Women came, the wives of the pastors, along with their children. Some walked for days to get there. Children surrounded us everywhere, always fun to have them. President Sanguma welcomed us. And the band, the worship band, was great to have. We both had many opportunities to teach and to preach and to hold classes, some with the whole group, some in smaller groups along the way. Here is one of Ruth's classes.
Kasi talikam. Si Kuyo, bango moko bazay na Biblia na bango. Moko bazay na kain na bango. Moko bazay na big na bango. Pe wana zaling guy ko te bango bazay ko sala note. And I was like, na gamwi. Na.
And she was worried about her Lingala. Byron was there to present some new materials for the health clinics, which were presented and demonstrated by the local doctor. I was doing some translation for Byron. Many of the women met in the church during the day for some classes and seminars. At one point there were 800 women in this church for one of the classes that Ruth was holding there. The women are very exuberant, fun to be with, eager, glad to learn and to be taught. The offerings are a joy. Sometimes they take a long time. So how do we feed this many people? There were a number of women that seemed to work 24/7, cooking, cleaning, killing everything from whole cows to goats and chickens and getting it prepared. Sometimes you weren't sure what was actually simmering in the pots, but maybe it was a goat, maybe it was a chicken, or maybe it was the beef. We ate a lot of manioc, a lot of greens, and some fruit along the way as well. Coffee was prepared for us every morning, and it was very good, very fresh. A number of awards were passed out in recognition of good leadership along the way. Here they both get the 4-headed pin for the Women Ministries Merit Award. We stayed in the Hotel Rojo, a hotel, I guess, not exactly 5-star. Here you can see their costs and their prices. Keeping a head on the water, filtering it, was always a problem, so we wouldn't suffer from dehydration. Byron having his morning devotions, every morning I'd come out and see him there. The accountants were always busy keeping track of all the funds that were coming in, but during the evening we would hang around, talk, listen to the radio, even the Obama speech. It concluded with communion. That evening there were some 2,000 people showed up, many from the town of Businga, not just the conferees. From Businga we went back to Karawa and Gemina to take a look at some of the projects, especially for these projects. Ruth had come out as part of the Paul Carlson partnership. At Karawa there's a new magnet school, a number of young women are there in the senior year. Also a new partnership for the rehab of the healthcare centers. A new chapter of the university is open there as well. A number of schools have opened of different kinds. It takes a lot of work and planning as Ruth keeps talking and planning with President Kikwete along the way. Children everywhere, as we said. Fun, joyous, a little bit timid around me, but they need care. A number of them are orphans, and so there are hygiene and nutritional projects along the way, also for these children. There is an AIDS orphanage not too far from the Boponzo Center. A number of these children are being cared for by the local church people. Now, believe it or not, there's also an internet cafe that has opened up. President Sanguma is taking care of a number of the trucks, trying to get them up and running again. The health centers are often dealing with AIDS, which is the SIDA. A new high school has been created and is being built and populated as well. Finally, we needed to head back to Kinshasa and back to home once again. A number of new churches have been planted in Kinshasa, but Heading back to the airport, well, Byron kept his cool by just reading a book in the back seat the whole way. Back to Njili Airport, catching our flight out to Brussels, landing in Brussels, a couple hours of downtime, catching our breath, catching the Brussels airline now, heading from there back across the ocean towards Newark, New Jersey. And back home once again, sweet home Chicago. Oh, another 100-degree drop in temperature before we get home. Praise God.